Hello guys, it's Sebastian and welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, I would just do a chill video and I would just be in my pajamas in front of you guys tonight. And alas, it would just be again another night vlog or night chit chat with you guys, because as you guys already know, I've been loving this setup lately, and so I decided to do it again today. And yep, so for tonight, I would just be talking with you guys, and more importantly, I would be telling to you guys how I've grown as a person in 2020. So I feel like 2020 has been a year where I feel like I would not grow the way I just did. I know that 2020 would be another year for growth and peace and all that, but to be honest, I've grown in a way that I never thought I would and I could. Given that a lot of things has happened in 2020, you know, starting off the year with the Australian bushfires, and you know, a lot of things just happened in 2020. Also the tragic death of Kobe Bryant and his daughter, the eruption of the Taal volcano, the Hong Kong protests, the Beirut explosion, the West Coast wildfires, and now the COVID-19 pandemic, and also the recent typhoons that have hit our country, the Philippines, and not only the Philippines but also its neighboring countries. So those are just a few things that had happened in 2020, and there are still a lot of things that is beyond and in between those events that I've just mentioned to you guys. And for me, that's just what makes 2020 a tough one to like be able to fully take in or to fully digest into our systems. I know these events haven't been like the kindest, most especially to our health, not only to our physical but also to our emotional and mental health. And in a way, this year was just a tough one to handle, given that a lot of adjustments were needed just to make everything else seem to be okay. But when I personally looked into it, I saw 2020 as the year where a lot has like changed, not only within myself or not only in myself, but also to a lot of people or the world in general. And you know, given that, like what I've said a while ago, a lot of adjustments were made and a lot of things has changed. I have actually learned quite a few lessons from this year, and I know I would not share these lessons just to cover up how 2020 has been like a rough year to all of us. I don't want this to turn out like a toxic positivity trait or to just romanticize how we're kind of low-key all suffering, but in the end I just wanted to focus on the positive side. No, that is not the point of this video. I just wanted to share you guys the things that I've genuinely and honestly learned through the process of pursuing the year of 2020. And a lot of people are saying like, I can't wait for 2020 to end and all that, and I agree with them, but I just hope the negativities and the bad energy that 2020 gave us would not be carried on to 2021, 2022, and even all the latter years. And yeah, I just hope that 2021 would only be that bad chapter, and I hope that this would not be the start of the series of bad chapters, if that makes any sense at all. So I really am looking into 2021 as a year of more hope and light and love and happiness. And with that being said, I would now be sharing to you guys the lessons I've learned or the reminders that I've just been reminded of in this year, which is 2020. And I would now be starting off with the first one. So the first one is, sometimes there is only now. Sometimes there is no next time. And I learned this not actually the hard way, but in 2020 I just feel like I grabbed all the opportunities I could have. I did not wanted to let my fear in a way dictate how I would react to the opportunities that were given to me, because at the end of the day I just felt like opportunities are opportunities, wherein not all of the people could have the opportunities that were given to you the first time around. So why would you waste your time on kind of like allowing your fear to stop you from going farther if you know that you could conquer a certain thing, even if the opportunity you've been giving is something that is completely out of your zone. So personally, I feel like having to take every chance, and in that moment of knowing or being given the opportunity to do something or to be a part of something, really try them out. But then again, we need not to compromise a lot of our authenticity just for us to be able to get that opportunity. By this, I mean to say that it is okay to try out every opportunity, like what I kind of did this year. Not actually that I took all the opportunities, but yeah, my point here is to just not let your fear dictate or control your life, because that would not end up well. And of course, you would not like to regret like 5 years from now that, oh, I should have just taken this opportunity, because that could have been something, that could have been the beginning of something great, that could have been a great foundation as to where you would be 5 years from now. But just let your fear decide for you during that time, so you do not have the experience even up to that day. So yeah, that's probably it for my first lesson. The second lesson that I have is the fact that it is actually okay to be alone, but something needs to be done if you feel alone even when you're surrounded with a lot of people. Okay, so given that for the past months we've just been in quarantine and all that, there is no doubt that there's been like almost more than half a year already where we haven't seen our friends that much, and we haven't had that physical connection with the society for quite some time now. So there is no doubt that sometimes we literally are alone in our houses and all that, but the problem kicks in when we still have a constant communication with them, we have a stable connection with them, same is true with our family, but we still feel alone. This is a time when we need to kind of step back, not to isolate ourselves from everybody else, but to be able to recalibrate where our next steps should be. And of course, know that you're not alone and that a lot of people are here for you. Don't be afraid to reach out to people, your friends, family, loved ones and all that, just because they're more than willing to always be there for you, and I know that. Okay, so the next thing that I've learned is that self-peace is as important as world peace. Why? Because basically you cannot give what you do not have. So for you to expect people to be part in making this world peace an achievable thing, when in reality they do not even have their inner peace, kind of seems like an impossible thing to do. Personally, I view self-peace as the foundation of a good well-being. And you know, in the long run, this would just serve as the anchor, which would keep you grounded. And yeah, I feel like this also falls with having to accept who we really are and to not be ashamed about it. Because at the end of the day, we're all humans, you know, capable of doing things, of feeling things and doing mistakes and all that, which leads to my next realization or lesson or reminder, and that is the fact that to be human is to be imperfect. So you know, as we progress through life, people could, most especially if you're doing good in life, view you as this person who is capable of doing all of the things in an instant. But yeah, personally, I feel like there is no good in that mindset, just because we are all humans who are day by day adjusting, learning and growing and all that. So to be able to kind of expect this person to always be perfect, this person to always act nicely or just how you wanted them to be in the first place, is just not good to that person's health, because then you're defining what her persona or his persona should be, when in fact that is not who she really is, or that's not what he really is. You know, that is not their core, that is not their true authentic selves. So to be able to dictate how a person should act is not the best that we can do, because then again we need to realize that these people are just like us, capable of doing mistakes, of feeling emotions, of feeling sad, angry, happy and all that. So you know, we should never invalidate their feelings. And I just feel like this pressure could just be a lot to take in if we were to do it constantly into a person. So yeah, at this point in time, I just hope that we could let other people grow, learn and adjust at their own pacing. And the last lesson or the last realization that I had is that consistency is the key. Through the years, I've heard this quote already, wherein, you know, consistency is the key, be it in workout or be it in having this good academic standing and all that. But I feel like this year was actually the year where I really looked into that quote and reflect well on it. And yeah, I just realized that consistency really is the key no matter what field you are in. And there would be days when you feel like your efforts are not going into something, or the results that you've been getting just doesn't make up for the effort or the hard work that you've put into a single work. But then again, we just need to realize that our time will come and that we just need to be more patient. We need to, again, be consistent in what we're doing with our crafts, with the things we are passionate about and all that. So yeah, consistency, again, is another foundation that will make everything else worth it. Of course, there would be days when our inputs would not be as much as compared to the other days, but then again, we need not to be consistent on the amount I would say, of the workload that we give into a single output. By consistency is the key. Personally, I just feel like you need to constantly do a thing, but of course there would be days when you would be needing to rest, so you would be needing to give less, and once you're ready to give more, that would be the time when you'd now be giving more. But consistency doesn't mean that you always be needing to give 100% of yourself, because that would not keep your boat afloat in the long run. As long as you're doing a thing constantly, that's more than enough. So yeah, for now, those would just be the things that I would be sharing with you guys. Those were the lessons that I've learned in 2020 that I would be carrying on for the next years, and I hope that these lessons could also touch you in a way, or to kind of inspire you, motivate you, or to even remind you of the things that you have already known before but you just forgot about. So if anyone is still viewing this video up until this part, I just wanted to tell you that I'm super proud of you and that a lot of people are always here for you, and I'm just hoping with all of my fingers crossed that 2021 would just be our year. And that would basically be it for this video. So this would be the part when I would say that this has been Sebastian, and I hope that we could spread love a little more often. I'll see you on my next video. Stay safe. Bye bye.